Back on the program, I'm just looking at the CD cover here, and it says The Message, Errol Renaud, and Errol is my guest on the program this morning. I want to say a very warm welcome home, Errol. And I can't remember when I last saw you. It was many years ago you were here.
Yeah, last time was 1995.
1995.
Yes.
Okay, time has certainly passed since then. And you bring with you this morning your son, a very good-looking young man. I hope I don't embarrass you by telling you that. Jarrell is his name, J-A-R-R-O-L. Jarrell Renaud. Welcome to the program and to Trinidad and Tobago. Have you been to Trinidad and Tobago before?
Many times.
Oh, so you've held on to this side of your roots?
Yes.
Okay, but Jarrell, you were born in Australia.
Uh-huh.
Okay, when did you first come to Trinidad then?
I think I was maybe...
It was 3 years old.
3 years, okay.
Yes.
But when was your first memory of coming to Trinidad and Tobago? What age were you?
Probably when I was living here. I went to primary school here for 2 years. When I was about 8 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you like Trinidad and Tobago?
Very much, very much.
I asked him off camera earlier, you know, you were born in Australia, fathered from Trinidad and Tobago. Who do you support when it's cricket time?
The West Indies.
The West Indies, okay. Good, so that's why he's on the program. If he'd said any other, he'd have been sitting on the side. Anyway, Errol, we're going to talk a little bit with you firstly, just to remind people, because many of our television viewers may remember there used to be a video running on TTT that you featured. You were the lead person in it. So just give us a little background to what you used to do here years ago.
Well, that video was called Feel Our Feel, and I think TTT ran the video in the early 80s. I did it in 1985, and that's when it happened. But I got my schooling in entertainment from Ujama Dance Company in Cocorate, and I moved on with the Trinidad Cavaliers down to Australia, went back to Australia to exploit and spread the culture of Trinidad and Tobago in the Australasian area, Australia, the Pacific, and the Asian regions. So this is what I'm doing at the moment still after, yes.
Was it that you wanted to spread the music down in Australia, or was it that you fell in love down in Australia? It was really just at the time the music.
Well, mainly the music,
Cavaliers was Admiral Khan, was it not? Admiral Khan. He's back in Trinidad now. He's still here. I saw him recently.
Yes.
Looking very well. So you decided to stay. Did you stay back with some other members of the band, or were you on your own?
No, some members of the band stayed, but I actually came back and returned to Australia after a couple of years. I went back to, first of all, to the Southeast Asia region, and then went to Australia after a couple of years, yes.
Okay. Did you go with your pan?
I did, yes, yes. I had my steel pan along with.
You know what I often wonder, because when we see the pans up in the pan yard, there's always a time when you hear the tuner is coming. And the tuner comes and he spends days there retuning and getting the pans back into the correct sound.
Yes.
What do you do when you're away? Have you learned to tune your own pan?
No, I haven't learned. Tuning is such a complex thing, right? But I'll tell you what happened the other day. We got a tuner who came down to Trinidad. Lennox is his name. To Australia. He was brought there by some people who are playing some pans in Queensland. And we who live in Sydney heard about the tuner coming down too. So it was like, hanging out to get this guy to come to blend the pans back. So we do get tuners coming through ever so often. So
maybe anybody who's looking on now, if you're studying, because right now that's being taught, you know, you can go and learn how to tune the pans. You might get a lot of work in Australia, yes? Because I'm sure there are I know there are lots of pans down there.
Yes.
I often wondered how that was done. All right, so you're playing music, you're still playing music.
Yes.
What instruments do you play?
I sing, play the pans, of course, and write some of my material, or most of my material. And I've just finished a new album late last year called The Message.
Okay, I'll put it here so that we can pick it up. So this is what you're doing. Now, Jarrell, I understand you're at university now.
Yes.
And you're studying music. What particular form of music you're studying? Fill us in.
It's a pretty broad course. We study a lot of kinds of music. it's very theory-based, like with musicology and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So what do you see you want to do when you finish and get your degree?
What my father has done, just make a living from music.
You decided you're going to do that?
Definitely, yeah.
Most musicians, however, and artists would tell you, don't go there because it's just like climbing up a wall with your fingernails, yes, right? Rather than using your feet. But this is what you want to do. Do you play at all at any gigs with your dad?
Yes, yes.
What instrument do you play?
Bass guitar.
Bass guitar.
And I play a bit of steel drums as well. Yeah.
Okay, and what about the singing? Are you
backing vocals, the harmonies, yeah.
You haven't come up to the front of the band
as yet?
No. Yeah, there's going to be the day when you're going to say, hey, Dad, move over. Yes. I'm here, okay? But the CD, we've just looked at the cover.
Yes.
Let's hear a little bit about what's on this CD and, you know, what we can look forward to for those who buy it.
Okay, I started the CD in 2000, actually, when I came over. And Leston Paul has arranged and recorded 7 songs on this CD. That was done here in Trinidad. All the vocals were done in Australia. So 7 songs produced here in Trinidad, and we had 4 songs produced in Australia, and all the vocals and backing vocals were done in Sydney.
Well, once we hear the name Leston Paul,
yes,
we know that it's going to be a Caribbean sound.
It is.
How would you describe it? Is it calypso? Is it soca, reggae?
Yeah. I'll say it's a Caribbean sound because it's soca music, sort of more on a broader feel to reach the international audience. And we've got some fusion, some reggae fusion, some soca, funky fusion. So yeah, it's a Caribbean album with an international flavor. All
right, you play mostly in Australia. Who are the people who would attend the concerts and shows that you play at? Do you have a mainly Australian audience, or do you have the people from the Caribbean who have now settled?
We have mainly Australians because that's the majority audience. But yeah, a lot of Trinidadians and people who have settled there come to listen and dance to the music because, you know, Trinidadians and West Indians always try to follow.
Yes, to get the music. Yes. But I was just wondering if you were penetrating what you would call the solid Australian market.
I think we are, yes, because we live by playing music in Sydney, Australia, and in the region. And to do that, I think, is a good sign that you're actually getting into the mainstream of the people down there. So, yes, I think we are making progress. All
right, Gerald, have you ever been here in Trinidad and Tobago around Carnival time?
I have, yes.
Did you play mass?
No, I was fairly young around that time, so... Yeah. I don't remember it too well. Yeah.
Yes, because I was just wondering, you know, because as a young man as well growing up in Australia and having the roots of Trinidad and Tobago, it would be a great thing for you to experience the carnival. But there is, I know in certain parts of Australia now, they've started a carnival very much like Trinidad and Tobago Carnival. I'm not sure if it's in Sydney. Is it in Sydney?
Yes, Sydney.
It is in Sydney?
Sydney, yes.
Okay, because I remember we had some Trinidadians who lived there.
You had Dean and Trish Russell.
Oh,
yes.
Thank you, yes.
Yes.
And they are telling me that it's very, very successful.
Yes.
And the Australians are really turning on to this Trinidad and Tobago Carnival.
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you very much for coming in. Is this CD available in Trinidad and Tobago?
The CD is available at Crosby's Music in the 2 branches. So, yes, it is available.
All right. And people interested can call 6750966. 6750966 if you need more information. Lovely to meet you, Gerald, and nice to see you again, Errol. We're going to take in some messages on the program, then we're coming right back home. What's happening in San Fernando? I know it's something to do with jazz. You stay with us.